right. Right. Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shabaraka Thumb to all the Akim out there, and Yahweh Shamar Thumb Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to all the Akwathian out there. This is the Lashawan Qadash class, also known as the Hebrew class. And what we have been doing is we got to give it up for Captain Sapara for actually taking the class last week. Captain Sapara stepped in and helped out in getting that Hebrew class done. For this week, I wanted us to complete the Lord's Prayer. We're going to probably go over some prayers more, the prayers that we do in service. We do the services every week. We want to start looking at those prayers to get an idea as to what was the Hebrew words behind those prayers, and wanted to get like a historical context with what was being said. So today we're going to continue going over the Lord's Prayer, but what we're going to do is we're going to also go back. We're going to review talking about the Lord's Prayer, giving an idea of context and going back. So I wanted to set the scene. First of all, let's do a quick warm-up. We want to say the Lord's Prayer. Okay, where I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer. I want you to say it with me. You can repeat after me. And then I want to give you some historical context and why the Hebrew words were so profound or unprecedented. Please forgive me. I like that word, but I never can get it right. Okay. But I wanted to see why this was just a really powerful prayer that Yahweh Shah did at that time. We usually, when we say the Lord's Prayer, we'll just say it. A lot of people, even the that are not Israelites, will say the Lord's Prayer, but they don't really know the impact of why this prayer was so powerful at that time, and it was a very revolutionary prayer. If people understand what Yahweh Shah was doing out in the open, you could see why he was a person that had guts. He definitely was not a coward, and this prayer in the open would have been one of the things that would have gotten the Romans' attention, because the stuff that he was saying, of course, the leadership of that time wouldn't have dared to say. Okay, they wouldn't have dared to say the things that were in this prayer. But sometimes we might not understand that because we don't understand the Hebrew meaning in connection with the time that Yahweh Shah and his followers, the disciples, were living in. So we're going to do that. We're going to go back and then we're going to review. So the goal of today is three things. We want to get a historical context of the Lord's Prayer. We want to complete the Lord's Prayer because we've gone through the Lord's Prayer and we're almost complete. We're almost finished it. But we want to get a historical context. We want to complete it and show why this was so revolutionary for the time. So then we want to put it all together. And then we want to, of course, end off with a nice pop quiz. I like pop quizzes and I like participation on the chat. If you are just joining us, please go ahead and identify yourself on the chat and greet, say the greetings, the Hebrew greetings in the chat, and just say who you are so that I know that you're in class and so that I can call on you as a teacher would call on somebody to participate. We are almost complete. So this series of the Lord's Prayer, but what we're also going to do is we're going to look at some other prayers that we do read at the school to get a better understanding. All right. So let's all say the Lord's Prayer. You can say it with me or you can repeat after me. Okay. So the Lord's Prayer, when we start out, is Abba Nawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Wafka, Thaba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawath Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawath Yanawa, Wala Thabya Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, a ball, Hawashayanawa. All right, Washayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wahathapa Arath, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. All right, so that is the Lord's Prayer. All right, and so we will make sure that, okay, we get these things in, and we're going to pretty much, okay, pretty much get over and go over these things. All right. All right, let's go over this. Well, first of all, we're going to get into the background. Okay. So, and then we'll go and continue where we left off. Actually, no, let's continue where we left off, and then I want to go into the background. So the last time we left off, we were at where Yahweh Shah said, okay, forgive us for our debtors, or forgive us for our debts as we forgive our debtors. Okay? And the Hebrew word for debtors or debts of our off is kabawath. Okay? And that kabawath, okay, that means like debt or debtor. Okay? Or the debtors. Okay, that's a plural word in the Hebrew. All right? So it says, forgive us for the debtors of us all. Okay, that's what it really means. Kabawath, the debtors of us all. Okay, and so the reason why this is profound is because you got to think of what Yahweh Shah was talking about. He was talking about how he wanted the kingdom of the Most High to come, and they were looking for a time where not only would they be brought back into their own land, but they would also have their debts forgiven. Okay. And the day that looks forward to that, the day where your debts are forgiven, where you're brought back into your heritage, is a feast day that we look at every year, which is the Day of Atonement. Okay. Because on the Day of Atonement, shalom, sis. Okay. We got sis the Kai on here. All right. The Day of Atonement was a time where we looked forward for that time where our debts were forgiven. Okay, and that was on the year of Jubilee. Okay, and that was the 50th year. You can find this in Leviticus 25. Shalom, sis. Okay, we got a couple of sisters checking in. And so this is really, and why was this important? This was important because when Yahweh Shah was saying this, he is pretty much saying, let this happen. Now, why is this such an insult? This is an insult because right at that time, Rome was in charge. Okay. So, and who was in cahoots with the Romans? It was the leadership. It was the leadership of the Jews at that time, which were in cahoots with Rome. You remember, they made sacrifices to the Roman emperor as they were supposed to be making sacrifices to the Most High. So they were doing this. So when Yahweh Shah was making this prayer and making this request to talk about forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, he is saying boldly for the Most High to come and destroy that current system. Well, the leadership of the Jews at that time would not have liked that, because that means that would have been dethroning them, okay? And that would have put them out of their, they would have been losing money. Okay, kind of like, you're messing with my money. So when Yahweh Shah was saying this, forgive us for our debts as we forgive our debtors, that's a bold and revolutionary statement. All right, so we're going to go back to that. Okay, actually, let's go back a little bit more. Okay, let's start with and forgive for us. Okay, which is wasalak nawa. Okay, wasalak nawa means and forgive us. Okay, so let's put this down. I'm going to put this down. Wa salak. And you probably already have this in his notes, but we're just going back to review. Nawa. Okay, I'm going to put this in the chat. Wa salak nawa. Okay, well, salak la nawa salakia. Okay, and we're going to break that down. Okay, what's salaknawa? Lanawa. All right, I'll put that in the chat here. Okay, what's salaknawa? Lanawa. And what that means is the word wa in Hebrew means and. If wa comes at the beginning of a word, the root word here is salak. So if a wa is attached to that, that means and. Wa and salak. Does anybody remember what salak means in the Hebrew? I kind of already said it, but let's get it from the chat. Let me hear from a couple of sisters that I know signed in. What does the word salak mean? Go ahead and put that in the chat. Okay. What does that word mean? Okay. What's salak? Okay. What's salak now? Or what does the word salak mean? Does anybody remember? All right, go ahead and put it in the chat if you remember the word salak. I'll give you a couple seconds to put that in the chat. What does the word salak mean? And then we're going to put it up. Whoever put USC first. All right. Well, the word salak, thank you, Khan sis. Salak means, we put what the sis put up here. This is what salak means, forgive. Okay. So the word was salak nawa, wa, and salak, forgive, lanawa. And la means for or to. So, and forgive for us. So what salak nawa means is and forgive for us. I'll put the English up there. What salak? Lanawa. Lanawa. Okay, I'll put the English. And forgive for us. Remember, the word nawa means us or we. Okay, so I'm going to put that up on the screen. Excellent job, sis. What's salak nawa? And forgive for us. Okay? Forgive for us. That's what salak nawa means. Okay? Now, what's the next one? So, what's salak now? And forgive for us, kawab wath nawa. Anytime you see a wath in the Hebrew, that means the word is plural. That's a plural word. Okay? So, I'm going to put this. The next one after that is ka wab wath kawawath. Okay? Nawa. All right, so I gave you a clue. Kabawaf. Actually, I'll put a dash of wath so that you understand. All right, so the next one is kabawath nawa. Kawab wath nawa. When you see the word wath, that's like adding an S at the end in Hebrew. Sometimes you'll see the word yum, Y-A-M, or you'll see W-A-T-H. Think of that as making the word plural. So you know the root word is kawab. Okay? Kawab is the root word. Wath is like adding an S to it. Kabawath nawa. Okay? So, kabawath nawa, we should know what nawa means. Nawa means us or our. What do you think the word kawab means? Let's put that in the chat. What does the word kawab mean? What's the word? Well, I mean, you know the Lord's Prayer. It says, and forgive us for what? What does the word kawab mean? Not the plural word. I want the singular word. Okay? Put that in the chat. Go ahead and put that in the chat. What does the word kawab mean? I'll put that. What does that word mean? I'll put the question in the chat. What does that word mean? All right, I'll put that in the chat. See if people. What does the word kawab mean? Going through the Lord's Prayer and forgive us. What does the word kawab? I don't want the plural. We know wath makes it plural, but what do you think the word kawab means in English? All right, I'll give you a few seconds. Go ahead and answer that. Put that in the chat. Takaya, put that in the chat. Let me get my sister couple of my sisters that I know are in here, put that in the chat. All right, what does that word mean, or what do you think? It's always good to take a guess. Good. All right. I got my sister Kasawana. Excellent. Excellent potential means debt. Okay, so that word means debt. All right. The word, so kawab, you can put that in your root words. Kawab means debt. So kawab, and I'll put this in the chat. So kawab, wab means debt. So kawab wath, the other word, kawab wath means debts. It can mean debts or debtors. Okay, either or. Okay, debts or debtors. All right, because when you see the waf at the end, all right, go ahead and get that down in your sheet. Kawab means debt. Kawawaf, waf is like adding the S, means debts or debtors. All right. So let's start from the beginning. Abanawa, the father of us, Shabbat Shemayim, which are in the heavens, because remember, Shemayim, yum at the end is S, okay, it's like an S name, which are in the heavens or the heaven, okay? Qadash, that means holy. Haya, be, Shamka, the name of you. Separate is the name of you, Yahweh. And then it says, Malak Wafka. We see that word again, Malak Waf. Waf makes it plural. Malak, we know, means king. So Malak Waf is kingdom or kings. Malak Wafka. And then we know when there's a ka at the end, means the kingdom of you. Malak Wafka. Thaba'ah. Thaba'ah means come. Okay? Retazayaka. Retazai is the root word, means will. Okay? And then a ka at the end means your. So the will of you, come the will of you. Okay? Haya, have it be done, or be done. Haya means be. Aisha means done. Aisha means done or made in Hebrew. Ba'arataza. In ba arataza. Arataza means land or earth. Remember what I said, when you see the word arataza, think of land of Canaan, because that's how they thought of anciently. So your will be done or be made in the land of Canaan as it is in heaven, because the land had to do with the promise. Okay? Kawa, as, haya, be, bashamayim, in the heavens. Nathun Nathun means give to us. Nathun in the Hebrew, that's the root word. Nathun means give. La means to. Okay? So give to us, Nawa, us. Lakam, bread. Okay? Bread, call, all, yawam, day. Give us bread all day. Okay? We need bread all day. Okay? So that's what they're saying. Give us bread all day. That's what Yahweh side said. Now we're back to where we were. Wasalak nawa, and forgive us, kabawath nawa, our debts. Okay? Forgive us our debts. Kabawath nawa. All right? All right, so let's go to the next part. Ka salak nawa. Ka salak nawa. Okay? Kasalak nawa. All right? Go ahead and write what that means in the English. Okay? And forgive us our debts. What does kasalak nawa mean? Okay? And break it up. I broke it up. Ka, what does that mean in the Hebrew? Salak, and then nawa. Break them all up. I put dashes on the screen so you can see it's kind of broken up into three parts or three sets of words. Ka, what does ka mean? Salak, and then nawa. Go ahead and put that in the chat. What does that mean in the English? All right, we're talking about the Lord's Prayer. I'm sure most people grew up hearing the Lord's Prayer. Okay? But we want to talk about its significance and why it's so revolutionary. Okay? Kasalak nawa. What does that mean? Break it up. Put it in the chat. All right, give people about 30 seconds. What does that mean? And you want to put this in your, and you want to write this down so you can have notes so you know what each Hebrew word means. Okay, kasalaknawa. All right. I saw Shalom Officer Ramat. Okay, if I see you check in, I'm going to ask you to participate. All right, you know I'll put people on. All right. If I see you check in, go ahead and participate. All right. What does ka salak nawa mean? Break it up. Ka salak nawa. Break it up. I broke it up into 3 parts. Go ahead and let me hear you put it in the chat. Or let me see you put in the chat. I can't hear you. Can't hear you typing. All right. I'll be typing my answer. Ka salak. Okay, good. I see one. Okay. Salak. Excellent, sis. I see you. Ka salak. And I'm going to put it up. Good job, sir. All right. Okay, good. I see. Good. I see some good participation. That's what I want. I'm going to have to call people out. Okay. And then now. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll put this here. I'm going to put this up. All right. This is what it means. Let's put it up. Let's see what people put. Y'all did an excellent job. Okay. Ka in the Hebrew means as. It can mean as or like. Okay. So cuz, as, forgive, now, as forgive us or as forgive we. Now it could also mean our. Okay. So ka, as, salat, forgive, now, we or us. And we translate it in English as we forgive. Okay. That's how we translate it. As we forgive. But that's what it's saying. As forgive we or us. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this, when in the Bible, when a lot of times the prophets or even our Yahweh, when they're doing a prayer, have you noticed, even if they're doing a prayer by themselves or they're doing an open prayer, they all are speaking, they're speaking in unison for all Israel. He's saying, forgive us as we. You see here, us, we. Okay, you don't hear a lot of I's. Okay, because you got to think anciently, they thought as a nation. Okay, they thought as a nation. When Daniel was humbling himself, Daniel could have said, Lord, I've been perfect. I mean, I've been blameless over here. But notice how Daniel said, we have sinned. Okay, all right, we have sinned. They thought as a nation, as one. So when Yahweh is doing this prayer, you'll see a lot of us, our, we. Okay? And anciently, that's how our forefathers would pray. Us, our, we. Not me, my, I. Okay? All right, even the Yahweh, when he starts with the prayer, he starts out with our Father. Okay? So you just think about that, how in unison and how we thought. Okay, collectively as a nation. All right, let's keep it going. So what's salak now? And forgive us. Kabawaf now, our debts. Kasalak now, as we forgive. Kabawaf now. Okay, here's the next part. Kawab. Waf. Ya. Now. I want somebody to break this up and tell me what this means. We kind of just said it earlier. What does this mean? I'm going to put this next part up. And make sure you're writing this down. Okay? Kawawaf Yanawa. What does that mean? What does that mean? If you had to translate, and you'll notice the reason I want you to do this is because I want you to get in the habit of translating. You'll notice translation's not the easiest thing to do. Okay? Translation, it seems easy because we just get our Bibles from the store and we grabbed it and we're like, it's already translated for us. However, when you are translating from one language to another, you have to try to find the equivalent of the language that you're translating to get the context of what the other language is saying. And sometimes that can be difficult. Okay, that sometimes is not an easy task. You're thinking like, okay, I have to convey the same meaning of what they're saying in this language, and I got to convey it over to the new language. Okay, and sometimes that's not the easiest thing. All right, that's why some people have battles over translations. Okay, that's why you have to understand the Bible so when it comes to translation as well. All right, let's go put in the chat. What does Kawawakinawa mean? All right, I put it in there. This next part, go ahead and put it in the chat. I heard from a couple people that checked in. Let's see if they put in this next chat. I don't want to call people out. All right. Next part's Kawawakinawa. What does that mean? Write it in the chat. Let me hear from everybody. Okay, let me see you checked in. Let me see you put some names out there. So Officer Mark check in. I saw Prince Shalom, Princess Double Wara. All right, Salakiva Princess Shemayawan. Okay. Let's welcome. I see Sister Kasawana checked in. She's been answering. All right. Okay. Good. I see Sister Kasad has been on point. Okay. Let's see what she says. Kawawak debtors and us. Okay. Excellent. All right. So let's see what this says. All right. Kawab waf. That's a big word. It means debts or debtors. Okay. And then we have Kawawaf ya. Okay. Ya. Okay. Okay. Kawawakinawa of. Ya in this context can kind of mean like of. And then us. Okay, Nawa. Okay, Kawawakinawa. So this is what it can mean. All right. Kawa debtors, Kawawaf ya Nawa. Debtors of us. Debtors of us. Kawawaf ya Nawa. That ya sometimes can signify of when you see it in a word. All right, let's go ahead and get that down. All right, make a good time. Let's see if we can get through this tonight. All right. All right, Kawawakinawa. So you know when you see a waf at the end, that means it's like adding an S. Debtors of us. All right. Let's go to the next part. Kawawakinawa, wala'a, thabiya'ayanawa. Okay, let's put both of them in here. All right. Next part. Wa la'a. Everybody should know what la'a means in Hebrew. We say it all the time. All right. That's probably one of the first words you've learned. Wala'a. Okay. What does wala'a mean? Actually, let me put this. Let me do wala'a. Go ahead and put that in the chat. Let's do wala'a. And let's do Saba, ya, I now. Saba, ya, I now. All right, let's do it like this. I'm going to put this up. Y'all tell me what this means. Okay? Wala'a, Saba, ya, I an hour. All right? Wala'a, Saba, ya, I an hour. Everybody should know what la'ah means. That's probably one of the first words you learn. Okay? First two words you learned when you came to school was kan and la'ah. All right? So, la'ah, ayin hour. All right? And we'll get to what that means. Go ahead and put it in the chat what you know. What does that mean? All right? Ayin hour. Not lead us. All right, good, sis. All right. Con, sis. All right. Let's put this in there. All right. You see some good answers. Okay. All right. Well, we know la'ah means what in Hebrew? Means no. Okay. And what la'ah means and not. Okay. So what is it saying? So let's put this all in there. La'ah means and not. And not. Okay. Thaba now, and that sister got it. So and not thaba ya ayanawa. Thaba ya I nawa. What does that mean? Lead us and not lead us. What's like you? Okay, Salaki for 1 second. Let me just. Yeah. Okay. Lead us. And really, and not, really it means and you. Really, this is what it means. All right, I'm just trying to give you the exact translation now, and I'll explain it to you. Okay. Well, you and not you lead us. That's what it's really saying. All right. So, wa means and, la'ah means not. You lead us. So, and pretty much you do not lead us. So that's what it's really saying. You do not lead us. So pretty much saying, and you do not lead us. And you do not lead us. That's what it's really saying. Let me put it back because I might have gone too fast for some people. Let me put this back. All right, and let's put the root words in there. The root word, okay, and when you see the word in Hebrew, it can mean two things. It can mean she or it can mean you. So in Hebrew, when you see the word attached to the word, it can mean you or it can mean she. We know the Most High is a man of war, so it's not talking about she. In this context, saying and you, okay? All right, and the root word right here, baya'ah means a lead. Okay, and we always put nawa. Okay, now means us or our, because us, our, or we. All right, I think we got it all. All right, I'll put this in the chat so you see it. You see the root words of all these words. So you understand. So means you, by your lead nawa. So it's pretty much and you do not lead us. And you do not lead us. That's what it's really saying. And you do not lead us. Okay. Okay, that's what it's saying. And you do not lead us. So Ayanawa, Bana Sayawan. Let's go to the next one. Bana Sayawan. I'll split it up. Ba. Okay. Lashawan. That's a big word too. Yawan. But Lashawan. All right. Lashawan is how you want to say it. Okay. Let's get this in here. But Lashawan. All right, that's the next part. All right, while not put the next one on, but Lashawan up. Let's say the Lord's Prayer again. We want to say it so we can get the rhythm. Everybody repeat after me, even if you're at home. Have your kids repeating. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak Wafka, Thaba'ah, Retazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Call, Yowam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawaf Yanawa, Thabaya Ayanawa, Banasaya 1. That's where we're at right now. All right. Now, what does that mean all in the English? Abanawa, the Father of us. Shabbat Shemayim, which dwell in the heavens. Shemayim, Shemayim makes the word plural. Okay. Qadash, holy. Haya, be, Shamka, the name of you. The name of the Most High's name is holy. Yahweh. And then it says Malakwaf Ka. Malakwaf means kingdom. Ka of the end means the kingdom of you or your kingdom. Thaba'ah, come. Okay. Retazayaka. Retazah means will. Okay. And then a ka at the means you. So the will of you or your will. Okay. Haya, be, Aisha, done or made, but Arataza. Okay, Arataza means land or earth. So ba at the end of the beginning of it means in the land or in the earth. I always say in the land because Hebrews thought about the land of Canaan. Okay, in the land, kawa. Oh, you see that word ka again, as, haya, it be, bashamayim, in the heavens or the heavens. Nathan Lanawa. Nathan is the root word, means give. Lanawa, to us. La means to or for us. Lakam, bread. Call, all. Yawam, day. Give us bread all day. Okay. Wasalak nawa, and forgive for us. Kabawaf nawa, our debts. And kabawaf means debts or debtors. Kasalak nawa, as we forgive, or as forgive we, or as forgive us. Okay. Kabawaf now, the debtors of all of us. And not Sabaya Ayanawa, and not you lead, or you do not lead, Banasayawan. All right. What does Banasayawan mean? Break the word up. Ba is what in the Hebrew? What does ba mean? And then Nasayawan. What does that mean? Go ahead and put it in the chat. You know I'm going to keep asking you questions. And to make sure you're still awake. Go ahead and put that in the chat. Good. Okay, ba is in. So the water says. Now, what does Nasayawan mean? All right, I'm going to put this up right here. Ba means in. Now, what does Nasayawan mean? Nasayawan. Because ba at the beginning of a word means in. Excellent. It could be in or with, depending on the context. It could mean a couple other things too. But most of the time, just say it's in. What does Nasayawan mean? Those that know the Lord's Prayer, go ahead and put it. Nasayawan, excellent, says Nasayawan means temptation. So ba, excellent. Excellent. I'm going to put the sister up here. Nasayawan means temptation. So you do not lead us, but Nasayawan in temptation. Okay, you do not lead us into temptation. Okay, but Nasayawan, the word is Nasayawan, right? Like the sister had, means temptation. Go ahead and write that down. All right, Nasayawan. All right, so ba, I'll put it back up to ba in and Lashawan. Okay, temptation. Okay, but Lashawan, temptation. Okay. The Lashawan. All right. And temptation. A ball. Now let's do the next one. A ball. Have a shy now. Everybody should kind of know this. A ball. We'll do a ball. I'll do a ball, comma, or do a ball. How shy. How a shy now. Okay. Let's go to the next one. A ball. How a shy now. Now, you see that word, how a shy now? It should look familiar to you. A ball, how a shy now. You see the word, how a shy. What does that mean? Okay, you see the word a ball, how a shy now. Good, excellent, good, sis. All right. Because how you think of the word Yahawashai. What does Yahawashai mean? Yahawashai means pretty much he will save or he will deliver. Okay, so it's saying, but save us. So a ball in Hebrew means however, but, or only. I'll put all three. It could mean however, but, or only. A ball. Okay? And then when we see the word Hawashai, think about Yahawashai's name. That's what his name means. Saves or delivers. So deliver or save us. I'll put both. Or save. And then now, of course. Now it means us, we, or our. Save us or, save us. All right, I'm going to put that in the chat. Go ahead and write this stuff down. Get a pop quiz at the end. Okay? A ball, however, but only. So it's really saying, you do not lead us into temptation. Only deliver us. That's what it said. Only deliver us. Or only save us. Okay? Only save us. Don't lead us into temptation. Only save or deliver us. Or however, deliver us. All right? That's what it's saying here. All right? Only deliver us. All right? All right, let's put the next part up. All right? Only deliver us. My yun. Let's see if y'all can get this. My yun. Rai. Kaya. What does this mean? I'll always keep repeating the Lord's Prayer so we can get the rhythm down. Our next part is Mayun Rai Laka. What does that mean? And while you're figuring out putting that in the chat, let's say it again. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahweh, Malak Wavka, Taba'ah, Retazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Call, Yowam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Wala'a, Sabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya. What does that mean now? We just said, and deliver us. What does Mayan, Rai, Kaya means? Go ahead and translate that in the chat. Mayan, Rai, Kaya. Go ahead and translate that in the chat. Okay, good. All right, good, sis. All right, and we're going to say what the English means. Good job, sis. Okay, so Mayan means, in Hebrew means, okay, Mayan means from. Okay, Rai means evil or bad. Okay, Kaya means that, for, or which. And so it means that or which. I like those two, man. Okay, so this is what it's saying. So it's saying, deliver us from that which is evil or from that which is bad. So that's the English translation. Okay, from that which is evil or from that which is bad. That's the English translation. So when you see Mayan, let me put this back in here. Mayan, Rai, Kaya means really from that which is evil or from that which is bad. That's what it's translating as. So deliver us from that which is evil or from that which is bad. Mayan, Rai, Kaya. From that which is evil. So deliver us, save us from that which is evil or that's bad. Now, okay, deliver us. Who was your... Now, why was this a bold statement that Yahushua was making? Because he's saying, deliver us from that which is evil. So, who is he? So, how would the leadership, the Pharisees, Sadducees, and the top leaders, how would they have taken that? Go ahead and put that in the chat. He's like, deliver us from that which is evil. Okay, or that which is bad. Deliver us. Remember, when they're thinking deliverance, you got to not think Christian thinking. Okay, when Israel is thinking deliverance, they're thinking of the promise given to Abraham. So deliver us means save us, because you got to think they were in captivity. Deliver us. They were in captivity to a degree because they were under, I don't want to give the answer, but he's saying deliver us from that which is evil. Okay? And so there have been a number of people that have taken offense to that. Like, oh, who's he think he's talking about? Okay? Who would they have been interpreting him referring to? Go ahead and put that in the chat. This is why I said this prayer is revolutionary. Who would Yahushua have been referring to? Deliver us from that which is evil. Save us. Got to think how Hebrews think. When they were thinking of deliverance, they were thinking of being restored and their rightful leadership in their land. Now, they were in Jerusalem or Galilee at that time, but he's saying deliver us from evil. Who would have taken offense to that? Somebody put that in the chat. Who would have taken offense to that statement? Yep, the current authority. Good. Rome would have. The Jews that are and were in the priesthood. Remember, they were in cahoots. Okay? Herod and them. All of them would have taken offense to that. Because he's like, deliver us, save us from that which is evil. That's a bold statement. Because you got to think the religious leaders would have felt like, well, what was he trying to say about us? You know, remember they were in cahoots with Rome, so they weren't going to meddle the line with Rome. You know, they pretty much had the attitude of knowledge of good and evil. Okay, goes right back to the garden. All right, that was their attitude. They worshiped with their lips, but like Yahushua saying, and they were very, very far away from Yahushua. I mean, from the Most High. And Yahushua saw that. They worshiped the Most High with their lips, but they didn't really mean it. Okay, so he's saying, deliver us from evil. Okay? And this is why this is revolutionary. He's saying this out in the open. Deliver us from Rome. Deliver us from this current leadership. Herod. You know, the religious leaders that were hypocrites. Deliver us from them. Okay, restore the promise of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, let's keep it going. Okay. Okay. So let's do the next part. It's Lakah. Lakah. And then we got, we got this. Hamalakwath. Y'all should know this one. Hamalakwath. Okay, what does this mean? Lakah, Hamalakwath. We should know what Malakwath means now. So, Lakah, Hamalakwath. Khan, yes, sis. When they say the Lord's Prayer, would that part mean deliver us from, yes, the current, yes, Khan, sis. Yes, we can, yes, absolutely. Khan, sis. Sis asks, when we say the Lord's Prayer, part means deliver us from evil, yes, deliver us from the oppressor. Yes, Khan, sis. That is correct. Deliver us from the oppressor, the ones that are ruling, what is it? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Okay? Deliver us from evil. Deliver us from the wicked one, the oppressor, this system. Okay? Malakwath. Good. So, Lakah. Lakah means your. Good, sis. I see the sis participant. Good participation tonight. Lakah means your. Okay? Your. Hamalakwath. Ha in Hebrew, when it comes at the beginning, means the. So ha means the. Okay? Malakwath. Okay? You're the king. Yours, and like you said, yours is, we translate, yours is the kingdom. Okay? You're the kingdom. Okay? So Lakah. Okay? Pretty much the power belongs to the Most High. Okay? And he's saying this in front of the Romans and all of them, if they were out there. Okay? Pretty much you hold the power. And that's why he says, and the power. Let's get the next part. I gave you the answer. Waha'ala. So, and this is kind of pretty much saying you own this all. This is all owned by you. You're the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Okay? All of it goes to you. Okay? Pretty much saying that the Most High is in charge, not the current establishment. All right, kind of gave you the next answer, but let's just put it. Waha'ala. Okay, we know wa means and, ha means the in Hebrew. Okay, and the power. All right, so waha'ala. So let's say it again. Mayan, rai, kaya, laka. So deliver us from rai, evil. that which is evil. For yours is Laka, Hamalakwath, the kingdom, Waha'Allah, and the power. Okay, Waha'Allah. Allah in Hebrew means power. Okay, so Wa means and, Ha means the, and then Allah, power. Oh, I already put that up. Let me put the new one up. Waha'Allah, and the power. Yours is the kingdom and the power. Okay? Put in the comments the last part. You should know the last part. Yours is the kingdom, the power, and the what? Go ahead and put that in the chat. And he's saying this, remember, he's saying this in front of the establishment. Okay? This all belongs, the Most High is the one that really is in charge of everything, in charge of the kingdom. He has the real power. Okay? And the glory. Excellent, sis. All right? And what's in the glory? Wa, and, ha, the, wahathapa arath. So the word is the thapa. I'll have to the pa arath. I'll break it up for you. Rath. I'll write it whole and I'll break it up. The pa arath. I'll write the whole word out in parentheses, but I'll separate it. Wahath pa arath. So the pa arath. The pa arath. And the glory. That's what it means. The pa'arath means glory. The pa'arath. That means glory. The pa'arath. All right, let's put it in there. Thapa'arath. You can make that one word. That's the whole word. Thapa'arath. Thapa'arath. I broke it up so you could see it. So wahathapa'arath. Actually, let me put the whole sentence up. So let me put the whole sentence up so you can see it. Wahathapa'arath. Wahathapa'arath. All right. The pa'arath means glory. Wa means and. Ha means the. Wa, ha, and the. Pa'arath, or glory. All right. Sis, you got to think of, if you, I would suggest you practice saying these prayers in Hebrew, but if you, English is just as fine. We're talking about the Most High here. Yes, he'll hear you. Okay, he will definitely hear you. Good question. Sister asked, and we say our prayers, is that the only language the Most High will hear, or does he hear the slave language of the Most High will hear? Okay, the Most High hears the prayers of the righteous. That's the answer to that. When you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High will hear. He does not hear the prayer of sinners. Okay? Most High will not hear. And you got to think also, sis, that a lot of, when we went into our captivity, a lot of people had other languages that they spoke, all right, in their captivity. Okay? And a lot of people lost the language of their land. Okay, but the Most High was still with them because they were keeping the commandments. Okay, and that's what matters. Some people might say, "Well, you won't hear the language that The Most High is going to hear the prayer of the righteous. That's how we answer that question. All right? But you out here, you could be out here a sinner and speaking Hebrew, and the Most High won't hear your language. Hear your prayer. Whether you're fluent in the Hebrew or not, he's not going to hear it. Well, I'm going to pray in Hebrew, hear me, but you're out here not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. He won't hear that. We can get precepts to back that up. A good question, sis. However, and also I would say, yes, practice saying them in the Hebrew, because we want to speak the language that our forefathers spoke. And Yahushua did speak Hebrew when he spoke to Paul, and that was our language. That's why it's the holy tongue. That's why it's the holy tongue. So yes, go ahead and practice in both. I would say practice in both. Say those prayers in Hebrew. All right? But don't think that, because you aren't fluent in the Hebrew, that the Most High is not going to hear your prayers. You keep the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High will hear those prayers, not the prayer of the person that, is speaking Hebrew, but, doesn't have the spirit of brotherhood or is breaking the law. Those prayers won't be heard. All right, excellent question. All right, let's end it off. It says, the last part is la'ai walam yum. So I'm going to put this in the chat. La'ai wa lum yum. Okay? La'ai wa lum yum. Okay, let's finish it off. La'ai wa lum yum. We put that right here. La'ai wa lum yum. Okay? And let's go do the time. Let's go ahead and put the answer to that. So I will lum. Okay? All right? All right? I will lum means just ever or forever. Okay? So the root word is I will lum. I will lum. Shalom, sis. I will lum just means forever. That's what it means. That's the root word. Forever or continually. It can mean two things, continually. Okay? And yawam in Hebrew, or yum, is a derivative of yawam. So I will yum, or / yawam, means just days. Okay? That just means day. All right? So forever days or forever continually. That's what it really means. Forever days or forever continually. That's what it means. La'ai wa lum yum. La'ai wa lum yum means forever days or forever continually. That's what it means. All right. Let's put that up. All right. La'ai wa lum yum, forever days or forever continually. All right. That's what it means. Let's put that up there. Forever days or forever continually. La'ai wa lum yum. And we know amen means so be it. Aman. And the Hebrew means so be it. Make it so. All right. So he's saying this was an excellent prayer. It's a powerful prayer by Yahushua. Let's go over this again, and we'll translate it as we're going. Okay? We'll translate it as we're going. Aman means just so be it. All right, let's translate it as we're going. Actually, let's say the prayer just all in Hebrew, and then we'll go back and translate it. Repeat after me. Say it so you can get used to it. All right, let's get into it. And then over time, you'll get like a rhythm. All right, here we go. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Wafka, Taba'ah, Retazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Wala'ah, Sabiya Ayanawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahathapa Araf, La'aiwalamyam, Aman. Now, let's say this in the English. All right? Let's say this in the English. Abanawa, the father of our father, or the father of us, Shabbat Shemayim, which art in the heavens, or beyond the heavens, the heaven where he dwells. Qadash, holy. Haya, be. Shemka, the name of you. The name of you is separate. There's no other God like you. There's no other power like you. It's different from all the other gods. Yahweh, that's his name. Malak Wafka, the kingdom of you. Thaba'ah, come. Okay? Retazayaka, the will of you. Okay? Haya, be. Aisha, done or made. Ba'aratasa, in the land. Kawa, as or like. Haya, it be. Bashamai, in the heavens where you dwell. Nathan Lanel, give to us. Lakam, bread. Call all Yawam day. We need bread all day. Feed us all day. Wasalak nawa, and forgive us. And forgive for us. Okay? Let's get these canceled for us. Kabawak nawa, our debts. Okay? Our debts will be canceled when you come and bring this kingdom. Okay? Kasalak nawa, as we forgive. Kabawak nawa, our debtors, the debtors of us all. As we forgive them, as we let the people go back to their own land. Okay? Wala'ah, and not you, and you do not, lead us, Manasayawan, in temptation. Abal, only, Hawashayanawa, save us or deliver us. Mayan, Rai, Kaya, from that which is evil. Only deliver us from that which is evil. Kayav, or yours, you own or you hold Hamalakwath, the kingdom, Waha'ala, and the power, Wahathapa Araf, and the glory. For all days, La'aiwalamyam, for all days are forever continually, Aman, so be it. All right? And this is the prayer of Yahweh Shah that he did openly in public and was pretty much challenging the system that was in front of him and letting them know that he was connected to the real power, to the real source who was in charge of it all. And he was asking the Most High to come and deliver them from that system, from that oppressor, because the Most High is the one, his father, our father, was the one that was in charge. The ones that were currently oppressing them were not the ones ultimately in charge. They were just in charge for a season. But the Most High's kingdom continues forever. And he will deliver them and deliver us as Israel and bring us back into our land because of the promise of Abraham. And this was a bold prayer, a revolutionary prayer, which would be one of the things that offended the people, the oppressors in charge. Remember, Rome would not just crucify anybody. They would crucify someone that was revolutionary or insurrectionist. And hearing this prayer, saying this prayer in front of the leadership would have rubbed them the wrong way. So I hope you have a better insight of the Lord's Prayer, of why this was revolutionary and unprecedented for the time. And let's just keep learning that Hebrew and saying the Hebrew and speaking the Hebrew and reading and praying in the Hebrew from the best that we know it. All right. And until next time, and with that, we're the ISU coming out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Jen Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. If a brother and sister are new to the school, they are to be off limits for 6 months. After the 6 months, if they would like to court each other, of course, they need to get permission from the head priest or the head captain in charge to court. If they do receive that permission, they are to court another 6 months. And then, if it's by the head or the captain or the priest permission, they can marry. All right. Tithes, which in Hebrew means ma'ashara, which means a tenth. All right. You give a tithe or a tenth of your of your increase. You could also give a free will offering, a donation, and there is no set number on that. We have the upcoming Holy Convocation. We have an upcoming feast, which is the Feast of Purim, which is on March 2nd and 3rd, which will be on a Monday and Tuesday. So that will be coming up. It'll be coming up really fast. And of course, we have the Passover that will also be coming up. Please make your plans because it is in Texas this year. Please look out on ISPK on the social media for any updates. If a new brother in the school would like to be more involved in the school, he used to wear black boots, black hoodies, black pants. Everything should be black. All right. And with that, I'm going to salute out. Imadium Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah Barak Atham, and Yahweh Shamar Alathan Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Class dismissed.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under commanding General Yohana, presents the Lord's 57th annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under commanding General Yohana. See you there, Israel. Shalom. Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and war like apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.